Hi, it's Janine Turner, and welcome to Front Porch Philosophy. Let's go retro. How you doing? How are ya? Yep, let's go retro, and let's take a deep breath. You know all these things we do here at Front Porch Philosophy. Today we're going to talk about Epicurus and Plotinus and the Stoics and the Skeptics. Well, we're going to introduce this concept, but we're going to correlate what happened to them and sort of a similarity of what's happening here in America. But first, you know what we do here at Front Porch Philosophy? We take a deep breath. Are you ready? Let's take a deep breath, shall we? Remember to take those deep breaths. And remember to follow my God on the Go. 1 minute daily inspiration. That's all over my social media. It's also at my YouTube channel, the Janine Turner's Front Porch Philosophy channel. So, okay, today, this is really, remember we followed this book. I am not a professional philosopher, but that doesn't mean that you and I cannot philosophize, does it? And we're cultivating conversations. That's what we're doing. We're learning how to have conversations again, and that is so important in our country. Now, today, this is a book written by Samuel Stumpf, Socrates to Sartre. I'm not being paid to promote this book. But he was wonderful, and he really explains all this very, very well. But what he talks about is that after the philosophers before Socrates, like Heraclitus, and then Socrates, and then of course we have Plato and Aristotle. But after that, Greece fell, and the Greek civilization declined. And this is really, really, really interesting because before all the philosophers were very concerned, and their theories all revolved around how to be a better person, how to be a good person. I love what Plato thought, you know, our soul is eternal. What are we all about? What's our purpose? And how can we be an ideal society? And then that changed, and I knew this was coming, right? But it's interesting. You can garner a little bit of information from everybody, a little bit of something, right? Because I thought, oh, I'm not going to like Epicurus because he didn't believe in God. However, there are a couple of interesting things in what he has to say, which we'll get to tomorrow. But today I want to focus on what happened in Greece. And what happened is with the fall of Greece, people became less concerned about the society and less concerned about the ideal and about being good, and more concerned about the individual. So they turn sort of inwards, and I want to read this to you. With the breakdown of the small Greek city-state, individual citizens lost the sense of their own importance and their ability to control or perfect their social and political destiny. Individuals increasingly felt the loss of personal control over collective life as they were absorbed into the growing Roman Empire. When Greece became a mere province of Rome, men lost interest in pursuing the speculative questions concerning the ideal society. You see any correlations there? When our country was founded, they never expected it to become such a federal, homogenized society, that the states were very important. They were like little countries, but we united for the higher good, for the purpose. But when we had our foundings, really wanted local community. That's why we have mayors, right? And then we had our precincts and our states and our state government and our local government, and then our federal government. And it was all set up that way because they really believed in the importance of local community. And I just think there's a correlation here of where our individual states have been gobbled up in quote unquote the Roman Empire, which is the nationalized country. And so that we, the people, have really lost our desire to perfect our social and political destiny, or to be involved in our social and political destiny. And we've lost this because we feel powerless. We feel impotent. We feel that there's no way we can really control it, so why bother? And isn't it interesting? So then what happened with the philosophers is that they turned inward. They became very self-absorbed. It was more about the individual. Instead of what can I do for community, what can I do for other people, it became, all right, how do I live the best life for myself? And don't you see that that's happening? We've become very much an I society, me, me, me. And I think that's because we feel like we don't really have any control anymore. We don't really have any control over our really societal destiny, our political destinies. And so that's why I believe it's really interesting. This is why history is so interesting. That's why I really believe we have such a loss of participation in our political arena. I think that our founders would be shocked at the lack of people that vote, because people feel like, what's the difference? What difference does it really, really make? Whereas if you keep it local, and if you keep it where people feel they can make a difference in the local communities, that's when people get involved, because they feel they have some power. They feel that their thoughts, their desires will really make a difference. Now, on the flip side, I think that there are a great amount of us, right? They're still very active politically, that do get involved. And when I teach the kids, when I go speak at all these schools through Constituting America, as I say, which is a foundation that I founded, I say, look, I want you to feel empowered. You can make a difference, because it's because we don't feel empowered and we feel like we can't make a difference that we don't get involved. So I thought that parallel was really interesting. What do you think? So focus on front porch. Front porch, cultivate a conversation on your front porch and have front porch philosophy, as well as get involved in your local community. Show up at your local town hall, and even if it's for your national representative, your federal representative, go ahead and show up at that event, because the great thing about America is we still can have a voice. We still can make a difference. We just have to feel like it really makes a difference. And I think our government's gotten so convoluted, and the bills are so big, which is one of my petitions, by the way, which is on my website, lowering the page numbers of the bills. It's all gotten so big we feel powerless. And James Madison said in Federalist Paper 62, if the laws become so voluminous that they can't be read, or so incoherent that they can't be understood, it's of no avail to elect men of our own choice, or women, right? What good does it do? We just are thinking we're a republic, but we're not really a republic if we can't understand what's going on with our representatives. So local community is so important. And ironically, when we can focus locally and in our community, that's when we really feel we can make a difference. And that's when we focus on things beyond the self and really think, how can we help one another? That's what it was like in the pioneer days, right? Everyone helped everybody else in the Wild West build their cabins and build their wells. Everyone helped everyone else. So anyway, food for thought. I hope you have a wonderful philosophical day. See you tomorrow. We're going to talk about Epicurus.